Paul Brown Stadium due to open in August, and the Reds' new ballpark hopefully set to open in 2003. We'll keep you up to date on the new stadium throughout this season on Real Reds, and recently we had the opportunity to talk to John Allen about the Reds' new ballpark.
You know, this stadium project has taken on a separate life for me almost, you know, having been involved literally in late '95 with a sales tax issue and then from day one. So, you know, this organization, it's been a long haul, and as we get closer and closer to breaking ground on our new stadium, it gets very exciting for us. And as I've said many times, the benefit we have is that we are able to see all these other parks and learn from their mistakes, see what they did right and see what they did wrong. And, you know, and I'm sure when you build a stadium or any edifice of this magnitude, obviously you're going to make some mistakes, but hopefully we can minimize ours. But, you know, ours is going to be something special. And we've taken a little bit of heat, and then the written media has really, you know, took some very preliminary designs and looked at them and pictures and so forth. And, you know, in my opinion, we're a little overly critical based on what they saw. You know, no one has seen the Hall of Fame and with its beautiful brick and stone and the steel and the administrative building and the tributes to former players, the tributes to former playing fields where we used to play. And there's going to be a lot of history in it. There's going to be a lot of modern things. I mean, people want wide concourses. They want a lot of ease in and out of concession stands. We've addressed all those things with quite a high number of points of sale in the concession area, very, very wide concourses. The other thing that we kept hearing was we want to be close to the field, and we have done a magnificent job of accomplishing that objective by moving the bullpens to the outfield. By only putting in one true level of suites, we're able to keep that upper deck down. Everybody's talked about the notch, and by putting the notch in, we're able to bring that left field third base side close to the field so that even if you're in the upper deck, it's like worst case you're in the yellow seats here. So everybody is very close to the field. It's going to be a close, intimate ballpark, minimal foul lines, and actually we'll have some seats behind home plate no more than probably about 60, 62 feet. I'm excited. You can tell just I get excited talking about it because we've done a lot of the right things, and you know, I just ask people to be patient. We've really put a lot of work and effort into this with a fan in mind. It's going to be a very fan-oriented, fan-friendly ballpark.
The Cincinnati Reds recently lost a great ball player and a great man. Here's a tribute to Brooks Lawrence.
Springfield, Ohio native Brooks Lawrence came to the Reds in a trade with the Cardinals in 1955 and made an immediate impact. He won 13 consecutive games in his first season with the Reds, made the National League All-Star team, and finished with a 19-10 record and a 3.99 earned run average. Affectionately known to his teammates as the Bull, Lawrence won 16 more games in 32 starts a year later and pitched in 100 more games in his final 3 seasons with the Reds. Lawrence's playing career was cut short due to an ulcer flare-up and eventually arm problems. He retired from playing baseball after pitching in 7 games in 1960, but not before compiling a 51-48 career record and over 750 innings as a member of the Reds. The Miami University scholar worked for International Harvester in Springfield. He coached the baseball team at Wilmington College, and in the 70s and 80s was a member of the Reds front office. He worked 10 years in various capacities, including scouting, player development, and season ticket sales. And he was a member of the Reds Speakers Bureau, along with his former Reds teammate, Gordy Coleman. Brooks Lawrence, inducted into the Reds Hall of Fame in 1976, died last week at the age of 75. In 7 seasons in the majors, Lawrence was 69-62 with a 4.25 earned run average.
Reds and Braves playing the final game of the 3-game series tonight. This is the rubber game of the series. In last night's 1-run defeat, Sean Casey was 2 for 4 for the Reds, and his batting average is all the way up to .291, Pick.
That's amazing after the start he had. You know, he's one of the more personal people on this team, but he's really gone through the whole spectrum of emotions. And George Graham sat down with him and talked to him about that.
Case, when you look at this year 2000, it's been kind of a roller coaster. A lot of the upside, a lot of the downside. What have you learned about yourself in this 2000 season?
I tell you what, so far it's probably been one of the most rewarding seasons I've had, because with the early on struggles, and I got injured at the beginning of it, but struggling like I did for April and May is something I've really never experienced, and to be able to battle through that experience and to have some success, you know, hopefully all the way to the end of the year, has been so rewarding. And you know, I think when you go through your character really shows when you go through the tough times. You know, anyone feel great when everything's going great, but when you're down in the dumps and you're not doing well, I mean, it's your attitude to keep going forward. I think that's been the most rewarding part of the season.
You look at a baseball team and a season, everyone is different. Last year, this team, all the little things went right. This year, not all the little things have gone right, but you learn from that too.
Sure you do, and I think that's what makes a winning ball club. You go through your ups and downs during a season as a team, and guys trying to pick up other guys and things like that, and that's just the nature of the beast in any sport, you know, and that's what we've experienced this year, and hopefully these next couple months we can, you know, get on a winning streak where we can catch the Cardinals.
Your role has changed too. Last year, especially with the notoriety of the great hitting year you had, you took the city of Cincinnati by storm. All of a sudden, this year, Junior comes to town. In one respect, it kind of put you on the back burner, gave you a chance to internalize a little bit. How have you reacted to that change?
Well, you know, it is definitely a change. Going from the hitting in the 3-hole for 2 years and having an opportunity to be the run producer to hit in the 5-hole or hitting the, you know, at the beginning of the 7-hole, 2-hole. I didn't know where I was hitting, but. It's been an adjustment, but it's also been great having Junior around and being able to watch him play every day and the things he does out on the field. But yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment.
What have you learned in watching Junior?
He's a professional, and it's nice to see the way he goes and gets the ball in center field, and just the hitter he is. He's a great hitter, and I think when he uses the whole field, that makes him one of the best players to ever play the game. But his power is impressive, and just his knowledge of the game is impressive.
We went to an eyelash of changing the whole direction of this club. We signed Junior. Then it looked almost assuredly that Barry Larkin would leave. This is a team that has a focus of young leadership. Yourself, Aaron Boone, Pokey Reese, all capable of taking over as leaders. When you went through that period wondering if Barry would be back, did you wonder how your role would change again?
Yeah, I think so. It looks, I mean, even Lark would tell you that it looked like one of the days he was going to be gone. And so a little bit in my mind, I started to think what my role would be on the team, and, you know, would it even go to another level. But, you know, fortunate enough for us, Lark's still here, and he is our guy on the team and our leader. And I think that's... it's so important to have him around for a few more years and still let some of the young guys even get settled more. But I think, as you see, like, you know, Aaron and myself and Pokey and Dimitri and some of the young guys already have, like, I think a leadership role in some aspect, but obviously not like a Barry Larkin does.
As you look back on this year, and it's certainly not over yet, what's the one thing you learned most about yourself during the struggles?
I think... I really did learn a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my wife. I really did. She was kind of the person when I came home. It was nice to be able to talk to somebody, and she wasn't a person that really felt sorry for me. She was like, you know, you gotta have the right attitude, and I think I really thank her for the relationship that we have, because it really helped me a lot going home. I mean, it feels like you have no friends in the world or something like that, you know. So, and I learned a lot about myself. I think. You know, when you're negative, it feeds off itself. And I said to myself, I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to stay positive, and I wanted to test myself. Like, what kind of person are you? I mean, what kind of work ethic do you have? Are you going to battle through this, or are you just going to quit? And I think I learned a lot about myself, and I'm going to get through this. You know, it might be tomorrow, it might be a week from now, or 3 months from now, but at some point I'm going to get through this. And I think that's been the most rewarding thing, being able to persevere every day and really stay focused on what I've been trying to do, and I think that's been the most rewarding thing.
George, thanks very much. Also thanks to Brad Miller, who assisted in the production of that story.